In another video of mine, I talked about how important it is for people who don't have a lot of capital to start investing to be willing to put in the work and find somebody who does have capital to invest and then partner with them on these investments. Keep in mind, if you're a totally beginner investor, you have to make sure that you're following a proven system, right? Don't just go out there and invest somebody else's money or partner with them on an investment on stuff that you don't know how to operate. I would highly recommend learning the skill sets that you need in order to operate that business or that investment or whatever it is, and then partner with somebody who maybe doesn't really have the time or the desire to do it, but they have the capital to do so. You're gonna have the person who contributes the sweat equity, and you're gonna have the person who contributes the capital equity. And so together, you guys can form a successful investment team. Now, where can you find these people who have the capital to invest? And I know sometimes it might seem a little bit daunting. It's like, wow, I don't really know people who have $1 million or $10 million to invest. So where can you find them? And the first place that I've done so is my personal brand. I built a personal brand around investing, around finance, and just showing people the investments that I do. And so that personal brand has grown to the point where investors are now reaching out to me. They want to partner up with me because they know I've been doing this for years and they know that I know how to operate these investments. And so they want to invest in my projects. So let's say I'm doing a house flip, or maybe I'm just buying an asset and renting it out. These investors, instead of going out and doing the work on their own, they want to be in a place where they don't really have to do any work. They want to be totally passive on it, and they want to hand off that responsibility to me to actually operate the investment. And the best part about it is that I've already developed a system, and so I know that, hey, every time I put in $100,000 or every time I put in $1 million, this is generally what our track record shows us. These are the numbers that we've seen in the past. Now, of course, past performance doesn't indicate future performance, so you have to know that. But you also know that, hey, if this investment has been performing for 5 years like this, what are the chances that it's going to perform like this on the 6th year or the 7th year? And so as an investor, you have to make that decision. And so growing your personal brand in the investment space really helps with finding these people who have the capital to invest, but maybe they just don't have the time or the desire to do so. The second thing that I've done is investor clubs. So there's so many different communities out there for different types of investors, and it's not always investment specific. So for example, if you can get into groups or communities or clubs where people just gather together because they have a common interest, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's like sailing. So if you can get into a sailing community, what are the chances that there are going to be people there who want to invest into something? I'd say it's pretty high. And so if you can find these communities which tend to relate to what you also like to do, maybe you like cars, maybe you like sailing, maybe you like jet skis, whatever it is, and find a community of these people, because there's oftentimes going to be people there who are willing to fund the capital side of these investments. So you can then show them, hey, these are the things that I'm doing. This is what's working for me. This is what's not working for me. This is the team that I work with. Use the credibility of your team in order to get your foot in the door, and then make sure that that team can actually support you in this project. So if you want to buy a coffee shop, for example, hey, my team here, they've launched 4 coffee shops already. We want to do a 5th one. These are the numbers that we're seeing on the other coffee shops, and we believe that we could probably get pretty close to it on this one. So if you wanted to invest into a coffee shop, it's probably a good idea to go with a team that's already done it before. And guess what? My team's already done it 4 times. See, so that's a totally different conversation than something like, hey, this is my first time launching a coffee shop. I really think this is going to be a good idea and we're going to make lots of money, so you should invest. You know, it's totally different when you have a team. And so when you're approaching people in these clubs, of course, you're not going there just to find investors. Find a club that you're actually passionate about, but then naturally you're going to start meeting these people that want to invest into what you're doing. Your business projects are interesting to them, and you have a team that backs you on each one of these projects. So they know it's not just you. It's not just based on your execution. There's going to be a whole team helping execute these projects. The third way that I've been able to find investors like this is just personal network. Think about people in your personal network. Maybe it's from a previous job. Maybe it's from a group you used to be a part of. Maybe it's a community you used to be a part of. Maybe you used to live in a different state. Maybe you still know people back there, right? And so think about your personal network, because it's likely that in your personal network, you're going to have people who would be interested in something like that. And that's not a totally cold conversation, because you know them, right? So you're reaching out to people that you know personally. You can show them, hey, these are the projects that I'm working on, right? And if they want to be a part of that project, they're welcome to be a part of that project. They want to partner with you. And if they believe in your ability to execute, if they believe in your brand, if they believe that, hey, you can go out and you can actually do this thing, they're probably going to be willing to fund the project. And I know I do that personally all the time. And I'll tell you one thing, it's not actually based on the numbers as much as you might think. The numbers are important. The numbers can disqualify the investment, but only the operator can qualify the investment. And so when you see the numbers on an investment, you can decide, hey, this investment is just not making enough money for me. It's disqualified. But just because it is making good money or it's projected to make good money, if I don't believe in the operator, I'm not going to do the investment. Only the operator can qualify this investment for me and make it a good thing that I want to invest in. And finally, the fourth way that you can find people like this that will contribute the capital to your investments is just referrals. So start out small, start out slow, start out with some investors and show them how you operate these investments. Show these people what you can actually do. Partner up with them. You don't even have to be an investment manager necessarily. You could just partner up on a business. Let's say you want to operate a coffee shop, or maybe you want to operate a car dealership, whatever it is. If you believe that you can execute on it well, that's going to bring a lot of investors your way, and investors are going to be happy. Remember, always under promise and over deliver on your investments, because these people are going to be reaching out. They're going to be contributing capital. They want to put money into these investments, and you're going to be the one operating the business. So even if you don't have a ton of capital to start out, you're able to get your foot in the door. You're able to at least get something going so that you can start cash flowing for yourself, for your investors. And that's going to start this whole process of where you're getting these referrals, because if somebody invested into your business or they partnered with you and they're making a lot of money, guess what? They're not going to be quiet about it. People tend to not keep these things secret. They're going to share with their friends. And guess what? If they have a lot of money to invest, it's likely that their friends also have money to invest, because they like to stay in circles like that. They like to stay in groups, and they're going to be sharing with their other investor friends. They're going to be sharing with people that they do business with, and then those people are going to become referrals and start investing into what you're doing. And so that's a pretty easy way to scale everything once you get the ball rolling, but make sure that you're under promising and over delivering for these investors so that they're cash flowing more than they expected. And if people are cash flowing more than they expected, they're going to be excited to share about this investment opportunity with their friends and other referrals. All right, guys, those are the 4 places that you can find capital for your investments or your businesses or different projects that you're working on. So go find yourself a capital partner. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.